Hi there, welcome back to the Apatros review. In this episode, Public Madness number 4, Unknown World, directed by Terry O'Morris in the year 1951. Unknown World is actually the name of the film, just put the Public Domain Madness number 4, because that's the title of this segment. Hi there, welcome back to the Apatros review, your guide to the wild world of science fiction, action, horror, cinema. And with me, your host, Amelia Sipka. Now in this episode we look at the film Unknown World, which was directed by Terry O'Morris, the guy responsible for the English language parts of Godzilla, back in the, shortly around the time this film was made, and it was made in 1951. It actually premiered in the US on the 26th of October 1951, and in Australia on the 26th of December 1952, so just over a year later. Now the film stars Victor Killian, who's not credited because he was actually subject to a blacklisting. Back in the 50s they had that whole witch hunt from the McCarthys. So Bruce Kellogg basically gets the top line, top bill. Now this film is in public domain, so if you want to find it, actually it's pretty easy to find. I mean, it's on YouTube, it's on various multi-packs, so if you look hard enough you'll find a copy. Of course the problem is the copies usually have very poor quality. But then again, I'm not reviewing any DVDs of this particular film. This public domain series, I'm just reviewing the films themselves. And this is the fourth one, so I've got another, well, quite a few left to go. Anyway, as for the story, in order to give mankind a viable survival option in case of nuclear war, Dr. Jeremiah Morley, that's Victor Killian, attempts to build a machine capable of drilling deep into the Earth's surface in order to find an underground cavity to provide a survival chamber for the survivors of mankind. Thanks to the sizable donation of funding from the son of a newspaper publisher on the proviso that he comes along for the ride, Morley and a team of scientists build a vehicle dubbed the cyclotram and use it to begin a journey down into the planet's crust. The vehicle proves to be up to the challenge, but the expedition is beset by a number of problems: poison gas, water shortages, various accidents, which cause the deaths of some of the party. When the survivors do manage to find a massive underground cavity the size of a small city, and with its own ecosystem to help them survive, they decide they have found their ideal destination. But after a few days, or actually it was like a couple of weeks, of staying there, they realize that there's something not quite right about humans living in that place. Now, this 1951 anti-atomic bomb scare science fiction fantasy adventure flick is one of the most depressing films to have been made during the 1950s. A bit like the Jerry Warren shitfest The Incredible Petrified World, which had some survivors trapped in a never-ending maze of underground tunnels, this deals with humans exploring underground locale, in this case an expedition to the center of the Earth to find a place big enough for the last survivors of the human race, if ever need be, only for the cats to find themselves beset by its various deadly problems that prove the point that mankind was not meant to be that far underground. Unlike the early 2000s sci-fi flick The Core, which had a team of scientists actually building their own version of a cyclotram to drill into the Earth's surface in order to detonate nuclear bombs in order to help the Earth's circulation and to protect the magnetic field of the Earth, this film has pretty much a pointless expedition. I mean, the team of scientists finding out at the end that what they do find is not suitable for humans to survive in apparently causes sterility, or for the fact that the lab rabbit's offspring, despite being stillborn, was still conceived in the first place, disputing that theory. Sterility means you can't get pregnant in the first place. He thinks the rabbit's food diet derived from local underground fish might have contributed to the miscarriage, which means that any human being there won't have any problems having children unless they ingest something toxic. So if you want to travel down to the center of the Earth, bring your own food supplies, prompting them to make a return to the Earth's surface. So in short, the expedition was doomed from the start. The science in this film is extremely bad, perhaps similar to the junk science paraded about by the climate change cult, and science buffs will be laughing at the notion of breathable air and consumable water hundreds of meters underground, and tolerable air pressure, when in fact the extreme pressure and lack of ice support will turn any human stupid enough to travel that far deep underground to a charred pancake. The film's payoff is overwhelmingly negative. The expedition's failure makes watching the film pointless, and the decision to make the expedition's fossil female survivor feminist, one of the almost noble early generation feminists, not the toxic misandric leftist version we see nowadays who think all men are sex offenders, will not help the film's chances with today's audiences, despite the character not displaying any signs of misandry. So no victory, no point, no chance of a rewatch. This film, Unknown World, basically sits on the toilet for a D- 1 out of 10 rating, just about unwatchable. There's no gore, but there's at least 4 deaths depicted, one implied. No nudity either, this was made during the time of the Hays Code. This film isn't public domain, so it's pretty easy to find. You can even find it on YouTube if you look hard enough. Anyway, that's it for Unknown World, a D-. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Continue on with this public domain madness thing. If you want to search for it, just put PD Madness. You just look at the title of this episode and you'll see what I mean. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.